all our viewers at home and listeners. We have Drew Lawrence joining us on the couch today on Raw, Really Authentic Women podcast. But you are a Ram, you're a really authentic man. And Drew, you have quite a story to tell, I hear. You're a professional baseball player, you play football, you play for the London Majors. You're young, you're good looking. Come on, let's get right into this.
Let's do
Welcome,
it.
by the way.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Yeah,
for having me.
no problem. Drew, what does authenticity mean to you?
I think authenticity, I think authenticity means just being yourself and being true to who you are and just not trying to put on a facade for anybody.
Love it.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's an honest answer.
Yeah.
If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Um, Hilarious, probably.
You are hilarious.
Sometimes.
You make me laugh.
No, just kidding. Probably just honest. I like to be honest. I don't like to I'll just tell people how it is, which sometimes gets me in trouble, but that's
But
about it.
wouldn't you rather be that way and know that in your heart that you've always been honest and you have nothing to hide?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. It feels a lot better. You don't have any guilt to carry with you, so it definitely is the way to go, I think.
awesome. So I put out on our social media that you were going to be a guest on the show today, and I asked people to send in questions that they wanted me to ask you. And man, we had the ladies. We had the ladies wanting to know some things. First off, are you single?
It's technically yes. The technical answer is yes,
Okay.
but the person wants me to say no, so I'm gonna go with no,
No, you're not single?
no,
Really?
no.
Okay, so you're just answering it that way for someone else, but what do you true like we're on a raw podcast. Like what Drew, come on, there's a bunch of ladies out there.
Yes, I'm single.
You're single.
I'm
Okay.
single, yes.
Okay. Thank you for being
No
honest.
problem.
The next question that a bunch of ladies asked is, what is your view on marriage? Do you want to be married one day or?
I do like one of my biggest dreams is to like be able to have like a bunch of memories with my kids or with my
Oh,
wife, and I just want to be able to find that right person that I can settle down with that's gonna be able to motivate me and I can motivate them as well. And we can just live a happy life together. Nobody needs to know what we're doing and just
you're gonna make me cry, Drew.
already
Already.
just get into it.
We're just getting into it. Oh, I love that. I love that. Did I already ask this question? What's one word to describe you?
You did ask this already. It's
What
okay.
did you say?
I said honest.
Okay, for the for the listeners at home, Drew has made me have a few fireball shots.
Drew made you. They were set up when I got here. Yeah.
Anyways, okay, sorry for asking that question.
That's okay.
We're gonna get deep into it. If I was to ask you what has been your most raw moment in your life, something that defined who you are today, what would that be?
I would say probably when I got back from Louisiana, I had to really dig down deep and get myself out of a dark hole. And my dad has let me know that I've done a great job with that. And he's really preached that he's proud of me. And it's good to see that other people are realizing what I had to get out of. So I'd say probably when I got back from Louisiana, that was the deepest I had to dig to find myself who I really am.
Okay, so because I have no idea what you mean by when you got back from
Yeah.
Louisiana, and for our listeners that know nothing about you, can you take us there and tell us what that story's all about? And
So should I go back from like the very start?
yes,
Okay.
please.
So originally I was getting recruited from a few colleges to go play baseball on a scholarship in a bunch of different places. And two of my best friends had just committed to the school in Louisiana and they're like, oh, they're about to message you. You got to come to the school with us. So I said, sure. They messaged me, gave me a full ride. I obviously couldn't say no to that. It's free education. So I went down there and just from like as soon as I got to the airport to go down there, it was just all hell broke loose. Like my dad, kind of a criminal, not really, just like doesn't have you can't get across the border too easily. So I was 17 and I had to take the plane. And right when before I was about to get on the plane, they wouldn't let him on because he couldn't cross the border. So I took the three connecting flights from Toronto to Detroit, Detroit to Atlanta, and Atlanta to Texas. And then since he couldn't come down, if he was gonna come down, we were gonna just take a rental car and just go to my school or whatever set up. But he couldn't come down, so I had to take a bus, like a Greyhound bus from downtown Dallas,
How old
Texas.
were you?
17.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to take
By yourself.
yeah. I had to take a Greyhound bus from downtown Dallas, Texas at 3 a.m. in the morning. And that's just not really the place you want to be at 3 a.m.
I'm kidding.
I walked in, there's all types of characters. Wasn't the most comfortable place to be. And then my bus ticket wasn't working when I got to the bus station. So I was just stranded, like completely helpless at the bus station. I'm not old enough to get a rental car, so I didn't really know what to do. And then my Uber driver came back in the bus station. He was like, God talked to me, told me that you needed help. He said, I can, if you need a ride, I can take you to your school, no charge, which like was kind of sketchy because I never, like, first time meeting this dude, just drove me
Right.
from the airport to the bus station. They ended up taking me 4 hours to Shreveport, Louisiana, but like halfway through the ride, he was going the complete wrong direction because I fell asleep in the car. I woke up and I said, "Hey man, you just follow the GPS." He goes, "Okay, I get it." Dropped me off, so it was all good. Going to school for a couple weeks, and then I was in a relationship when I went down there, and that's just probably not a good idea because I'm 20 hours away from home. But that she ended up um cheating on me with one of my like friends from high school, and I found out, and I obviously wasn't in the best mental state before I left, so I ended up trying to take my own life on one of the bridges in Louisiana, and she somehow called the police from uh, London, and this cop showed up when I was on the bridge, put me in handcuffs, took me to the hospital. I was in handcuffs for about 6, 7 hours in the hospital just waiting. They said I was dehydrated, pumped me full of something, put IV in, pumped me. I passed out for like 4 or 5 hours, and they told me they were taking me somewhere else. And then we pulled up to like this mental hospital, youth mental hospital in the middle of nowhere in Louisiana, and I was there for about 3, 4 days, which was probably the most traumatizing thing I've ever had to do. Like it was literally just like prison. Um, and then my mom ended up coming driving 20 hours to come pick me up from Louisiana. And then when I got to the hospital, my dad called me. He said, they released you. And I thought he was just talking about the hospital. And ended up he was talking about the school. The school had released me and dropped my scholarship. So I had to come back home. And then, yeah, and then I was just in a really dark place once I got back and just didn't really know where to go from there.
So tell me what was going through your mind in that moment that you were on that bridge? Like, what got you from being this successful athlete that has his whole life in front of him to standing on a bridge wanting to take your own life?
I was not a very independent person at that time in my life, so I really depended on that person for my love and my affection and just pretty much everything. And not having them 20 hours away and then them doing something like that to me, I just thought it was all over for some reason. I thought that that was personal my whole life. I said I don't have anything else to live for. I didn't really know on the bridge because I was on the bridge for a while, so I didn't know if I actually wanted to do it. But um, I just ended up there, and
Did you think about it? Like, was it something that you thought about that brought you to that bridge? Did you just go, I'm going to take my life because my life is now over?
yeah, that's like my friend, like in the morning we had class. Obviously, he knocked on my door. He said, "Yo, we gotta go to class," and I said, "I'm not going. Like, I'm tired of it," and I just started walking. And I thought that was my plan going there. But then when I got there, I was like, I don't know if this is really what I want to do. And then by the time I made that decision and started walking off the bridge, it was too late. The cop had shown up, so I couldn't even really change my mind at that point.
So now, when you look at your life, can you see yourself ever going back to that point?
No, don't think so. No, not for a second. There's too many things to live for right now, even just all the time. I just can't see myself being in that situation again, especially over a female.
Now, do you struggle with anxiety and depression? And Like, is it something that you battle on a regular basis to fight that feeling of getting back to that point?
Yeah, it's kind of like it runs in my family. Like it's always been around. My mom went through it, my dad went through it, my sister's always gone through it. And I think just seeing that kind of made me think that it was okay. And it is okay to go through that. It's just you just got to be able to get your way out of it. So I just feel like it's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it just I do battle it a lot. I started taking medications and a whole bunch of supplements that have helped quite a bit. So it's getting better, but it's still there for sure.
Do you find I was having a talk with one of the staff members prior to this, talking about if I go into the doctors and you go into the doctors and we say we're depressed and we have anxiety, they treat us the same. Do you find being put on medication has really numbed you to who you truly are?
Well, so I've gone to multiple different doctors, therapists. Like the first doctor I went to when I got back from Louisiana told me that I was doing it for attention, and I just don't need anything. Like I'm fine. And then the certain medications, like I was on I might sound pretty weird trying to pronounce this, but
No, no.
S something I don't know. It's an antidepressant, and it made me feel just like not myself. Like I was not. It ruined a lot of relationships that I had because people saw that I wasn't being myself. So I got off that. But then when I got off that, everything was like it was working, but it just made me not who I was. So I didn't want to be like that anymore. But I've started just like I started taking ashwagandha,
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
has helped my stress like and anxiety a lot. Like it'll be there a little bit, but then it'll go right away. And it's not making me feel like a new person. I still feel like my happy self. So
Yeah, you are
yeah,
pretty happy-go-lucky. Like you're kind of the life of the party and
I try to be
yeah.
sometimes.
So, do you struggle being in big crowds?
It depends. It depends where I am. So like a lot of my friends like to go to the bars, and that's just not really my setting. But like if I'm on the field, obviously there's a lot of people around, or after the game, there's a lot of people around, and I love that. That's just like my like that's like my zen place. Like just the baseball field or the football field. That's where I love to be. The bar's just not really my crowd because I know there's a lot of people there that just aren't really my type of people to be around. So
Now, given the fact that your relationship that you had that brought you to a place of mistrust and all those awful things that happened to you, do you struggle with trust now in
oh,
relationships?
it's terrible. Like even like sometimes in my family, I'll sit there and be like, "Are they lying to me just to make me feel better?" Or like, there's not really too many people I trust right now, but like if I do trust somebody, they have like my whole 100% trust, and they don't have to worry about anything like that.
It's hard because I struggle with trust issues 100%. And I find in relationships or friendships, you can't paint everyone with the
No,
same brush. But because you've been traumatized in your past and you struggle, I find I have to work really hard.
right.
Do you have any tools or tricks that you use, or you trust them till they give you a reason not to trust them?
Exactly. Like it's just like people that want to hurt you are gonna hurt you. There's nothing you can do to change the fact that they're gonna do that. So I kind of just I'll give people my trust, and if they want to break that, then they'll never get it again. And if they want to keep it, then you'll have my trust forever.
I love that. Can you describe your childhood and your upbringing?
My childhood was I had a really my parents gave me everything. They didn't always get along the most, but they made sure that their kids were happy. They gave them what they wanted. They put me through sports, which is my whole life. So I'd say it was a pretty good childhood. A lot of great memories. My brother and my sister, my best friends. So they let us have that connection that we have now. So I think it was a pretty good childhood.
So, I've been asked to ask who your favorite sibling is.
Oh no.
You're not going to
Uh,
answer that.
they're both two very different people, so it depends what kind of mood I'm in that day. But
Okay.
some days it's my sister, some days it's my brother.
That was very diplomatic of you. Good answer.
But
Who's been the biggest influence in your life?
probably my dad,
Yeah.
just because I've seen all the adversity he's had to deal with, and the way he just like even like when we were little, and the way he would just like he wouldn't show that he's going through anything ever, but like we know he's going through stuff, whether it's money issues or just mental health or whatever it is. He'll never show that. He'll always just be the biggest man in the room, just always be a leader. Just show me like I want to be like my dad for sure. I want to be exactly like him.
Really?
Yeah, except for his feet.
Except for he's gonna kill us.
I know.
Um, I was gonna ask you the same question for the third time because the fireball's kicking in
Yeah,
now, but um, if you were to speak to a young um, boy of your age, or back when you were going through what you went through, if you had any advice to give to your younger self, what would that be?
I'd say just listen to the people around you. Like even the people I was at school with, like my friends, my brothers, like they were just telling me that it's not worth that stuff. Just don't be ashamed that you're going through something. Like don't be afraid to reach out to people because they want the best for you. You just got to make sure you're reaching out to the right people.
Do you know what I have to say that I love as a youth that you are so comfortable talking about your anxiety and depression? I think that you're going to give a lot of other younger people the permission almost to talk about it because you're a role model to so many people, especially being such an amazing athlete. And that's going to bring me to my next question. How do you separate Drew, the athlete, and this young guy that has his future ahead of him and not let that get to your head? Because you're a good looking guy, you've got this amazing sports career ahead of you, you've got a great family, you've got so much support around you. How do you stay even and not be driven by your ego?
I don't. My whole life has really just been all about sports. So I wouldn't say that I have a second personality outside of that. I would just say I don't even really know. Just I love sports. I try and just stay level-headed. When I'm at home, I'm just really chilling or playing video games, hanging out with my friends. We don't really get up to all that much, but um I just it's really all sports for me, not gonna lie.
How do you balance all the girls?
I don't get a lot of girls.
Come
I
on.
don't get a lot of girls.
Really?
No, I had some wacky hairdo going a couple months ago, so ever since I cut that, I've been getting a little more attention, but I don't get that many girls, so yeah.
And you are you looking for a serious relationship at this point? Like you're pretty young.
Not really. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to look over there, but no, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
For those of you that are listening, we have a really good looking girl here today, one of my social media girls, but
She's got a promise ring on, so that's okay. Anyways, I don't know. I'm just trying to really focus on myself and just making myself happy right now. If something comes, then something happens, but that's not my main focus.
okay, school's not been your favorite thing, right?
No, I've dropped out of college twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, if you could go back and redo it, um, would you really want to be?
I would go back to Louisiana and just not let that affect me as much as it did, just because Louisiana was a good school. I had it set in front of me. I was going where I wanted to go. And that's probably why the other college, like when I came back, went to Fanshawe, I had no desire to be there just because of where I was before. But I'm going back to school in September, so I'm excited for that. It's in Canada, so it should be a good time.
Awesome. Now, if Drew didn't have all the opportunities that you had in your sports career and everything, like if sports, like if you were a shitty baseball player and a shitty football player, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I honestly don't even know.
No?
I remember in high school, I went to Beale, so I really wanted to be an actor. I
Okay.
wanted to be like Will Smith before the slap, and so I feel like I could be a pretty good actor.
I think you could. I
Yeah,
think you're hilarious. You could be a co-host on the show.
could be a car salesman. Who
You could be a
knows?
car salesman, maybe Lexus or something.
I
Like
don't
just a
know.
little shout out to Lexus.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Lexus. I know someone who's got connects, so
Yeah. Hook you up.
uh,
So you don't know what you'd be doing?
I don't think I just the only thing would be acting because I feel I took like a couple of acting classes that was fun. I think I just like being in front of the camera. I think so.
So then why were you so nervous about being on this? Like everyone kept saying, Drew's not going to say more than one word on this show to you.
Because I've never done it before, so I was just
Oh,
nervous.
you're doing great.
Thanks, I
You're doing
appreciate
great.
it.
Feel comfortable?
A little bit, yeah. The fireball is making me shake a little bit, but
Is it?
yeah, but I love it.
Do you want do you want another shot?
Should we?
No, well,
So
we could
maybe after.
maybe after. Um, what is something that makes you nervous?
Failing probably.
Um,
Just I don't know, it's not even failing. Like if I'm failing in my own space, like if nobody sees me fail, it won't bother me as much. But just because everything I've been through, a lot of people expect me to fail now. So it's like if other people see me fail, it's like they're right. And I guess not. I don't like other people being right.
oh,
So
like
I just don't want other people to see
kind
me
of sound
fail.
like your dad.
Yeah.
Right. Um, would you, so the biggest thing is failure.
Yeah.
What would you say is your best quality?
Probably just how it could be a good quality and a bad quality, just how unserious I take everything. Just like I can be serious when I need to, but I like to just live and just joke around and have a good time and just be funny and just I like to make other people smile. So I guess that I guess I can make other people smile.
I love seeing you on the field with the younger kids that come out. Like, I find that you have made these young kids, a lot of them have hope, and you really take the time, which is so beautiful. Like, do you find that comes naturally for you?
I have always loved just like I got a couple nieces and nephews and I just love being around them. I love spending time with them. I love the smile that kids get, like especially after majors games when they come on for an autograph or a picture and they're all nervous to come up to you and you can just make their day so much like better just from giving them that just a little autograph or a picture. Like they just face lights up. So I love that.
Where do you see yourself going? Like, do you see like you being like going really far in your football career? Or like, if you had to pick, if you could only choose one, baseball or football, what would you choose?
If I had to choose, it'd be football for sure. I
Yeah.
enjoy football a lot more, but I think I'm a little bit better at baseball, so that's more realistic. I don't know. I'm getting to an age where like you kind of have to make something happen now for baseball, whereas for football, I can still wait a couple of years and still make it somewhere. So I think it's more realistic for me to make it as a football player than it is for baseball. But I guess I'm not opposed to that because I enjoy football a lot more.
Do you?
Yeah, it's also probably just because I've been playing baseball since I was like 3,
Right.
so I've been around it.
Okay, serious question. If you could take everyone that you've met in your whole life, dead or alive, and you could only pick one person to look for, who would that one person be?
That I've met or just ever dead or alive.
That you've met, famous, non-famous.
I haven't met too many famous people. I'm not gonna lie, dead or alive.
What are you doing sitting here right now?
I know.
Right?
What are you doing?
Yeah. You've met someone famous
Are you famous?
in my own head.
Okay. I was about to say I looked at a TikTok following and I was like, it's pretty low. I got
Really?
more followers than you.
You do?
So I might be the famous person.
Maybe.
Just kidding.
Maybe it's my social media people that
Dead
aren't
or
doing a
alive.
good job.
Yeah, shoot. Dead or alive that I've met. Uh, I don't really know. Probably my grandpa Barry. Just he's an interesting dude. I feel like I was really young when I knew him, so I'd like to pick his brain about a couple things. He was a professional hockey player, so I'd like to know about the grind for that, how much work he put in.
Is that on your mom's side or your
Yeah,
dad's side?
on his
Okay.
mom's side. Yeah, yeah,
So, you just want to pick his brain?
yeah. I just probably talk to him a little bit more because I didn't know too much when I was talking to him. So, or maybe my uncle Ivan on my dad's side. He's a little crazy, so I feel like I'd like to know what drove that.
That craziness?
Yeah.
It runs in the family, I
Oh,
think.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
You said the biggest influence in your life has been your father, which is amazing. Do you are you bitter about anything about your childhood?
Mm, not really. I think my parents shouldn't have been together. We all knew that, so I'm not really upset that they split up as much as they did. Probably just a little bit how they treated my brother coming up, just because he was a little bit of an outcast to us. Just because of some of the decisions he made, but he was still like he's still a good dude. Just made some unwise decisions.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just that. But other than that, there wasn't really anything too bad about the childhood.
Um, do you think that you were favored more than?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the favorite kid.
You think
You can
so?
ask the parents; they'll tell you too.
You think they would, eh?
I know they would. I don't think
Really?
I know they would.
Right.
I'm the favorite for sure.
If you were to be asked if you're a good friend, like what do you think your friends would say to you and or say about you and how would they describe you?
It depends on the friend. I have some friends that are a lot closer than others. My close friends would definitely, I feel like they would hype me up a little bit because I'm always there for them. If they ever need to talk, they know I'm a guy they can come to. They're comfortable talking to me about mental health stuff because they know what I went through. Um, I would just say, I'd say they say I'm a good friend, but like the people that I don't see much, like obviously I'm not gonna make an effort to reach out to them and see how they're doing when they're not doing the same for me. So, like,
Do you find, like again, being at some of the baseball games, what I love is just the camaraderie between you and the players. Like, is that your family, like your home away from home, because
oh,
you
for
spend so
sure.
much time with them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're brothers for sure. We got a very new team this year, but we're all connecting very quick. It's a great like baseball my whole life. That's one of my favorite parts. Just being in the clubhouse together, being in the dugout together, just getting to enjoy that time because we all want to do the same thing. We love baseball. We're there for the same reason to win, and it's just great to be around that type of like everybody's competing for a spot, right? Like we
Right.
have a bunch of different guys that play the same position. Obviously, not all of us can play at the same time. Like we're competitive with each other, but we all love each other, so it's a great place to be at.
That's awesome. Do you have any regrets in life?
Probably just the Louisiana thing. It's not really that much of a regret because there's nothing I can really do about it anymore. But I would like to have handled that situation a bit differently. But at that age, there's like that's like the first thing that was thrown in my face that I had to deal with by myself, right? Because my parents were always great parents, so they handled a lot of stuff for me. So once I had that, it was kind of like I kind of just folded instead of trying to put up a fight, and I just kind of wish I did a little bit better with that.
Do you still talk to that ex?
Hell no,
Oh, no.
hell no.
And if you were saw her walk by,
Last time she tried to talk to me, and I said, "Go that way." Yeah, no, definitely not.
so you haven't forgiven her.
I don't know. I don't really like to hold grudges anymore. I used to be like really big, like I'll never talk to you again. But like now, if I saw her, I'd say what's up. But that's all she would get from me. Like I wouldn't have a conversation with her. I wouldn't try and catch up with her. Like, you can get a high and you can keep going. That's about it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't think she deserves anything more than that for what she put me through.
Do you feel that she put you through that or you allowed her to put you through that?
I definitely allowed her to because
Right.
my sister was even telling me when I went to Louisiana that she wasn't the best girl. I'm not gonna lie. She had a history, so I probably should have listened to my sister, but I was just so caught up in everything that was going on, so I just stayed with her. But I definitely let her do it to me. I could have got out of there a lot earlier from different reasons, but I just didn't know.
But that also is one of your most defining moments in your life, right? So if you didn't have that
Exactly.
situation happen, you wouldn't know the strength that you have within you to be able to go through that, right?
Exactly.
So, what is one thing that men are taught to be all tough and don't cry, but what would make you cry?
I don't know. I haven't probably just at this point, probably just like passing away of family. I don't cry too much anymore. Just or like if I did cry, it'd just be from something very like good happening that me and my family have been waiting for a long time. Other than that, I think it'd just be family passing away or something like that.
Do you have a fear of death?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I used to for sure, but now it's just like God will take me when he wants to take me and just let the cards play out how they do. And I just kind of want to. I feel like when I was living with fear of death, I wasn't really living how I wanted to live, and now I'm getting over that fear, and life's starting to get a lot better. So,
Amazing. Amazing. You have a full life ahead of you.
oh
You've
yeah,
got like the future's bright, right? Would you say you have a strong faith?
I do have a really strong faith. Everybody I've like, just like people I've met in the past, like I've talked to like mediums, is that what they're
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
Mediums or witchcraft people, and they told me that they see a lot of money in my future. So that has helped build the confidence up about that. I just want to be successful, be able to take care of my parents, and just
Aw,
that's like my biggest goal is just to be able to retire my parents.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, your parents have worked really hard to put you through sports
A
and
lot
been
of
there for you, which is amazing. And so you have no regrets. You are going through life, living it every day. You're happy, you're content. Is there anything besides money that you really want?
just like I said about the wife and family, I just wanna not anytime soon. I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'm young, so only just I would just want to be wealthy. I want to be happy with my family, somewhere secluded. Like I want to move away. I don't want to stay here.
Yeah.
So I just yeah,
London's not doing it for you.
no,
Yeah.
not good enough.
Where do you see yourself?
I don't know. I always wanted to like build a like just a small community for like my close friends and family. Just have enough money to be able to build like a complex and let them live there. Obviously, they're paying me rent, so I get a little more money. But I don't know. I want to be somewhere warm all the time. I said I wanted to move to Texas, which would be dope. Florida would be cool as well. Just somewhere tropical, even if it's like somewhere Dominican, somewhere like that.
Um, you're a big golfer.
Huge.
Yeah. Do you think you're good?
I'm great.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. I got like a, you won't know what this means, but my handicap right now is like +2.
What makes you think I wouldn't know what that means?
I know you don't golf.
How do you know?
You're right.
Right?
You could golf,
You're
but
just assuming, aren't you?
yeah. What's your handicap?
I'm the one asking the questions, right?
So,
Are you a better golfer than your dad?
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
He says that he beats me, but he doesn't.
He
Like, I
doesn't.
don't think he's beat me. And like, since we went to Florida to golf, he hasn't beat me.
He hasn't beat you.
But it's whatever. Like, he can say that he beats me, but he doesn't. He's too old now.
You think so?
He needs the graphite shafts. You won't know what that means, but
Okay. Um, if you could look at the camera and tell,
do I actually have to look at the camera?
yeah, look at the camera. And
And tell
my team's laughing at me. If you could give a message to a young and upcoming athlete, what would you say to them?
I'd say work hard because when I was coming up, I didn't work as hard as I should have. When you work, if you don't work hard enough, you're gonna regret it. And the sky's the limit for anybody. No matter how good you are, how bad you are, you can always get a lot better than you are. So just keep working hard.
Amazing. Favorite quote, if you have one?
I got a Bible quote.
Okay, give it to me.
I got I can do all things for God strengtheneth me. That's my favorite Bible quote for sure. Quote, period. Yeah.
That was deep,
Was that
Drew.
was
That
that
was
deep?
deep. Yeah, like I'm surprised you're an old soul.
Am I?
Yeah, you really are. You got, like I said, I look at you and I think, wow, you're an incredible, incredible
I
young man.
appreciate that.
And I'm really proud of you. I'm
Thank
really
you
proud
very
of you.
much.
And you know what? I'm gonna ask you one final thing, but I need you to close your eyes. Trust, no, no, you can't peek. Are they closed?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need you to, they're not closed.
I'm ready.
You're peeking. Okay. So
Sorry.
when you open them, okay, are you listening,
Yeah.
Drew? I want you to tell me the first thing you think of when the first thing you see. Okay, open.
Beautiful. Hardworking. Uh, Resilient. It's good, eh?
That's
Those are
great.
good 3 big words.
Those are three big words. Thank you, Drew, for
That's
being
it.
here. That's it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get